I take full responsibility for, you know, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, you know.
After more than 700 days behind bars, Young Thug is going home, and the hip-hop community is celebrating.
Atlanta rap star Young Thug was released towards the end of last year after changing his plea to guilty earlier that day in Georgia's longest-running criminal trial. He averted prison time with probation, bringing us stunning close to a chapter of a case that has riveted court watchers for nearly 2 years.
Young Thug is scheduled to appear in court today in Georgia on gang-related charges. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffery Lamar Williams, was one of 28 people named in an indictment in that state.
The rapper's plea change, whose real name is Jeffery Lamar Williams, appeared on the brink of not happening after Superior Court Judge Paige Whitaker asked if he agreed to a non-negotiated plea. That means prosecutors and the defense could not come to a sentencing deal, and the judge would ultimately decide his punishment. The parties returned after a brief recess, and Young Thug agreed to plead guilty to drug and gun-related charges and no contest to charges of conspiracy and participating in a street gang. Whitaker sentenced him to 40 years, which would have forced him to serve 5 years in prison, but she commuted it to time served. In addition, he must complete 15 years of probation, which can result in 20 years in custody if probation is not successful. She also put several restrictions on him, including barring travel in Metro Atlanta and no contact with affiliated gang members, and said he must perform community service, including doing presentations to community groups and children against gang violence. There better be no violations, but if there are any, you're coming back to see me, the judge said. Before she sentenced him, Young Thug told the court he takes full responsibility for my crimes and for my charges, and said he now recognizes the power he holds in his South Atlanta neighborhood to set a better example. "I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I am," Young Thug said. "I know the heights I've reached, and I know the impact I've got on people in the community." Thug, 33, had been jailed since his arrest in May 2022 on charges related to leading an alleged street gang, Young Slime Life, or YSL, with members accused of committing illegal and violent acts, including murder, armed robbery, drug dealing, and carjacking. Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis used Georgia's Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, or RICO, statute to claim Young Thug and his associates are a street gang with ties to the National Bloods Gang. During the sentencing, Assistant District Attorney Adriani Love painted Young Thug as a central figure in the illegal acts, including allegations of murder, and cited rap lyrics promoting violence. Love asked the state to consider sentencing Young Thug to 45 years, with 25 years to be served in prison and 20 on probation. But Whitaker noted in her sentencing decision that prosecutors were earlier willing to let Young Thug get out on probation as part of a plea deal as long as he testified against his co-defendants. The rapper's lawyer, Brian Steele, asked Whitaker to impose house arrest instead and said the state misunderstood the context of the rapper's lyrics in claiming they showed he was encouraging gang activity. "They are in a tunnel vision to try and convict a man who should not be convicted," Steele said. Whitaker, during her sentencing, said she appreciated the impact Young Thug has had coming up from a community already plagued by violence. But if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that is not the way to go. There are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs. "I want you to be more of the solution and less of the problem," she added. The prosecution's agreement with Young Thug came after 3 co-defendants took plea deals the same week following mounting speculation that Whitaker would have ordered a mistrial. Initially, prosecutors named 27 co-defendants. The trial against Young Thug began with jury selection in January 2023, and by the time opening statements started that November, after months of delays caused by some defendants taking plea deals and others choosing to be tried separately, he was one of 6 co-defendants. Whitaker would later approve plea deals for 3 of them: Quamarvius Nichols, 29, Marquavius Huey, 28, and Rodalius Ryan, 18. The men faced multiple counts of various racketeering and gang-related charges, each potentially carrying prison sentences of 5 to 20 years. With all of them agreeing to plead guilty to racketeering conspiracy, with Huey also pleading guilty to other reduced charges, they accepted more lenient prison sentences with probation and time served, Ryan, however, would remain in prison on a life sentence for a 2019 murder, but his 10-year prison sentence in the RICO case was commuted to time served. Given Young Thug's plea deal, an end to his part in the prosecution's sprawling case came after nearly 2 years of a winding live stream trial. The original judge was recused from the trial in July after misconduct allegations by the defense, heated courtroom exchanges between various parties, and a multitude of bizarre moments, including a deputy allegedly smuggling contraband to a defendant and someone hacking the court's Zoom to yell "Free Thug," punctuated the sluggish proceedings. The judge had previously said the trial would conceivably stretch into next year, as the prosecution was still not done presenting its case. But what was the indictment anyway? The grand jury indictment identified Young Thug, Gunna, and 26 associates as members of the criminal street gang YSL, or Young Slime Life. Thug, the heartbeat of Atlanta's fertile rap scene, is allegedly the founder of this street gang, which formed in the city in 2012. The prosecution claims YSL has affiliation with the National Bloods gang, and some associates claim the blood subset gangs S-Money Murder or 30 Deep. The rapper founded the record label Young Stoner Life in 2016 as an imprint of 300 Entertainment. YSL Records calls its roster of artists the Slime Family. Gunna was named in the indictment along with rappers Lil Duke, Yak Gotti, and Thug's brother Unfunk. All 28 individuals named in the indictment were charged with conspiracy to violate the State Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, or RICO, by participating in a pattern of illegal activity to obtain money and property. The Georgia law closely resembles its federal counterpart and was created to ensnare large criminal organizations like the Mafia. Young Thug is known for his eccentric style, mumble rap, and squeaky, high-pitched vocals. He shot to popularity with breakout hits, including Stoner and Best Friend, and co-wrote the hit This Is America with Childish Gambino. This became the first hip-hop track to win the Song of the Year Grammy in 2019. Thug has collaborated with other top artists, including Drake, Chris Brown, T.I., and Travis Scott. Elton John called working with Young Thug an amazing moment after recording the song Always Love You featuring Nicki Minaj and Gunna. He broke with the hyper-masculine norms of the hip-hop scene, wearing a dress on the cover of his 2016 mixtape Jeffery and saying there's no such thing as gender as part of a Calvin Klein campaign, and his RICO case reportedly strained the relationship between Thug and his rap mate Gunna. Late last year, after sharing a tweet and deleting it afterward, Young Thug had fans wondering where he and Gunna stand as friends and collaborators. Polarizing media personality, DJ Academics shared more context for fans after the now-deleted post dissing Gunna was removed from Young Thug's page. In his first post addressing the deleted post, he said, "I've been told, y'all, Thug told Dirk Baby and a few other rappers that Gunna was no good while he was incarcerated, meaning it ain't no way he can come back out and justify rocking with Gunna when he told N not to rock with Gunna when he was locked." He continued by asserting, Thug originally wanted to drop on Gunna release date and was gonna have Baby and Dirk as features. Those features didn't end up on his project, but he literally sent the message to them saying, "I don't F with that F and N, and I want to drop on his date." He also didn't drop on his date. He then closed out his posts by saying, Thug had to carve out communicating with Gunna in the plea deal because there is business still to be done. He has Gunna in contracts that aren't completed. If he was barred from having any communication with Gunna, that would have given Gunna a legal out in trying to get out of the deal. Interestingly enough, there have been reports that Gunna's brother responded to the now-deleted tweet, proclaiming that the feeling is mutual. Fans have expressed concern about the posts shared by the YSL founder, as he is under close scrutiny during his lengthy probationary period. The overwhelming sentiment is that he is doing himself more harm than good by sharing controversial posts on social media. Gunna has yet to publicly address the post and delete by his former frequent collaborator, Young Thug. So, will this turn into a bloodbath? Only time will tell. And that's it from us today until next time. Thank you for watching!